them to feel it, me to see it, and they'll know they're not getting into that right position. So, next part of that, after we get good at that, we're going to do what's called the top of the knee clean. So now it's going to be an RDL down. We're going to still start power position. RDL down to the top of the knee, start easing that bar back up. We're keeping our chest over the bar. When that bar gets back to mid-thigh, we should be right in about that power position to explode from. So, it's right here. Biggest thing I'm looking for, chest stays over the bar, controlling it down, start picking up speed. Timing. As we start to work down, the bar gets moving from different positions. Timing is going to be everything. We're always working slow to fast. I like to talk about gears on the car. So first gear is going to be lower, nice and controlled. Start coming back up, easing that bar up, chest stays over. That's going to be gear 2. That last explosion is gear 3. So we're picking up speed. So it's going to be a 1, 2, 3. Something that I've found that athletes really relate to. Kind of easy for them to understand. Now, I can physically be right there, pouring it into them. Right there, 1, 2, 3. They're going to not only hear me, but they're going to feel me every single time. Had an athlete tell me today, actually, that when he's doing cleans without me around, he actually hears me saying that in his head all the time. He's kind of joking with me that he can't get it out of his head. But I love that. I mean, that means I'm doing my job, I guess. So, next part of it, after we get good at that, I'm going to now go to the floor. First thing I'm going to teach off the floor is what's called a clean liftoff. So, clean liftoff, all it is going to be getting them in a great setup, first pull the movement. Isolating it, make them feel it, back down. Because if we can get good there, we can start to put everything together we're working on up top, and it's going to go a lot smoother. I want to keep things simple for them, but I also want to be very methodical as I teach these movements. So understand that if I'm methodical and they understand the movements and we go slow at the beginning, it's going to give us the best results in the long run. We're not going to have to go back and fix things. You only get one chance to teach it right the first time, and that's something I try and keep dear to my heart as I'm coaching. So, setup, feet stay the same. My shoulders are going to be above my hips above my knees as I get down and dress this bar. I want the bar as close to my shin as I can get it without touching. It's going to be right over about the end of their shoelace. This is usually where it's about. Arms still hang like ropes, upper back's tight and set. None of that changes. From there, once I get them in the setup's going to look like this. Chest over the bar, good. Weights right in my middle of the feet. 3 things I'm telling them, or really 2. Chest stays over the bar, pushing through my feet. If I keep my chest over the bar and pushing through my feet, I'm going to tell them also, I want my shoulders and my hips coming together. So if I push, shoulders and hips come together. If that happens, my knees have to go back. It's going to happen. It's physics. So that's what we want. The knees are going back out of the way from the bar. That's perfect. We're clearing room for that bar to go in a straight line. From there, that bar should start to come back with us. We should have a slight angle going back. These are things I'm looking for and kind of coaching on. I'm not going to hit them with all that and confuse them. I'm going to keep it simple for them. Chest to the up, push through your feet. It's right here. Get in that good position. Push. Hold. I'm going to make them hold below that knee. It's going to work some isometric strength and make them feel those body positions. Let me see it. Let them feel it. Because at the end of the day, we should feel like that body and that bar are working together. We're always trying to create a good body-to-bar system right there. Our body and that bar are working together at all times to be explosive and tight together. So, after we get good at that, we're going to go to what's called a halting power clean. So, we're going to do what we just did. We're going to pause and then we're going to go into an actual clean. So, everything we talked about with the top of the knee clean, lower it down, ease it up and go, picking up speed, 1, 2, 3, all that stays the same. Only we're starting from the floor. So 1 is going to be that first lift off. Once we get that lift off, it's a 2 and a 3 as we ease it up our thigh, go like hell from mid-thigh power position. So I'm going to be right there. I'm going to say 1. They're going to come up. They're going to be right below the knee. I'm going to check their body position. I'm going to say 2, 3. And that 2 and that 3, you got to be fast. We start easing that thing up, picking up speed, finishing with a lot of aggression. So it's going to look like this. Great setup. Chest stays over. Pushing with my feet. 1, 2, 3. Good little pause, feel that body position, picking up speed, finishing hard up top. So that's going to be the halting power clean. Last part of it. After we get good at that, the last thing we can go and do is actual power clean from the floor. Nothing changes. We're still working slow to fast. 1, 2, 3. All that stays the same. I'm telling them strong and low off the ground, fast and explosive up top. I don't want to see how strong they are the whole time. I want to see how athletic they are. That's what I'm telling them. You're going to have athletes that try and muscle it up, want to go 1 speed, be really fast off the floor. I want them to be able to do it the right way, slow to fast, get those body positions, and that's going to give them picking up speed, the most momentum to be really, really explosive up top, and finish those lifts with aggression the right way. So I'm going to demo it right here, so we slow it fast, finishing with a lot of aggression. Great setup, always the first thing. 1, 2, stick the catch. If I'm being explosive and I'm working slow to fast, when I get that good push shrug, I'm going to feel that bar fly. Once again, I'm not going to have to pull, I'm going to feel that bar fly, thumbs up my side, finish with aggression, stick it. This is a good time you can start throwing in those clean to front squats, so I'll demo that actually. Full power clean into a front squat. 1, 2, stick it, front squat. Back up. Straight weight, come to check, make sure their feet are in line. So that's going to be our power clean from the floor. A couple common things are going to happen, some things you're going to run into along the way of that progression. So when we go to teach that clean right from power position, almost always one or two things happens, and this is where the first things you're going to have to fix as a coach, or I'm going to have to fix as a coach. Two types of athletes. The first one's going to be really good at shuffling his feet. He's going to focus on that. So he's not going to get up. We're going to be doing those high hang cleans from power position right here, and he's just going to barely push, and he's going to be really fast with his shuffle, but he's never going to be explosive. The other athlete's going to get a great jump shrug, and then he's going to kind of float in the air. He's not going to be fast getting down. The bar's probably going to crash. So at this point of that progression is where I'm going to go kind of two different ways. The first guy, who's not really being explosive, just good with his feet shuffle. I'm going to tell him, you're already good at your feet shuffle. I don't need you to focus on that. I'm going to tell him, hard jump shrug. I'm going to really keep the jump part of it as the main cue. I'm going to tell him, we got to get up first before we get down. I don't care if you float for now. I'll fix it in the long run. He's probably not going to float because he's already good at shuffling his feet, so that's hopefully going to be corrected right there. The other athlete, the one that's being really explosive, is kind of floating in the air and segmented. I'm going to change my cues with him from a jump shrug to a push shrug, because in reality, I use jump at the beginning and teach it because that's something the athletes understand. They've been jumping their whole life. It's the best way to get them to be explosive. But at the end of the day, it's more of a hard push shrug from point A to point B, hard push shuffle. We want to be fast for that shuffle. We want to get down just as fast as we get up. So this is where I'm going to start to introduce that to that athlete, because that's what he needs at that current time. So I'm going to tell him it's not really a true jump shuffle or a jump shrug. It's going to be a push and a fast shuffle of the feet. So I'm going to say push, shuffle, and that's going to be my new main cues that I'm going off of with him. So that's going to be my full progressions. Another key point quickly here, you're going to have athletes. D linemen are classic examples. Guys with real long arms, kind of awkward for them to get into good body positions. We might have to put them on blocks. We might have to make some modifications. As long as we get them in a good setup, if it's off of a block versus the floor, who cares? As long as we get them in that good starting position to then do the movement properly. Last thing, I'm a big believer in holding myself accountable and continuing to get better at coaching these movements. So I don't know how well you can see on the camera, but I got a little coaching rubric here that I use on a daily basis. I didn't create it. I got it from actually a really good Olympic lifting coach. But it's got a whole bunch of things about my coaching, like clarity of instruction, accuracy in my feedback, how well I am doing it, analyzing, and then being able to make those adjustments. And I'm grading myself on this on a 0 to 5 scale on all these components pretty much every single day. I got a section for comments, and that's a way for me to keep getting better as a coach. It doesn't just apply to Olympic lifting. You can do it with all movements. So as I said before, I kind of have a little bit of passion for these movements. I love Olympic lifting, really believe in it. By no means am I married to it for the athletes, and I think you do whatever you have to get that individual athlete better, and whatever's appropriate. But I'm David Wright, and thank you for taking the time for watching this video.